welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Weeknights.
But we're thinking about renaming it to Cucumber Melon.
No, we're not. All right. Dash got jokes today.
We both have on green for some reason, so
Unplanned.
unplanned.
Just turn on the camera and there you are wearing green.
Right, exactly. Which is why I'm like, did
You
we?
know, in New York, it's like 85 degrees. So I figure I should throw on, a summery color today.
Well, I put on a summery length,
Holler.
so and I actually am wearing shorts.
You
So
don't got to show us. Don't
I
worry.
wasn't
We
going
believe
to
you.
show. I'm just saying that yes, it is that warm, and you know, had to listen. In the words of Drake, it's time to wear less and go out more. So here we are.
I thought that guy didn't make music anymore, you know? Kidding. All right. I am JD, aka He Who Pods, aka Rearview Mirror.
And I'm Dash, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B, aka cool grandma, but not really, aka Vamoose, aka where I want to be, because you'll never know where I'm gonna be.
Holler.
And as we said, this is Weeknights, aka Cucumber Melon.
Nah, we ain't rolling with that. Definitely not rolling with that shit.
So,
Let me tell you what else I'm not rolling with.
okay. What you not rolling with?
Just let me get my hate off right now. Let me start early.
Oh, we started with hate?
Let me start with hate.
Okay.
So for like 2 years, I've been seeing this trailer for this Zendaya movie.
Okay. Love Zendaya.
And
Super
and
talented.
it looked like it was about a love triangle. I said, "Oh, look at Zendaya doing some adult movies finally. No more kiddie stuff." Right, Zendaya, we're gonna give you a try. We're gonna see if the love triangle tennis movie is any good.
Hasn't she been doing adult movies for a while?
Like what? Name one. Spider-Man?
She was in that Netflix movie with John David Washington. That was what, 2020, 2021?
Oh, is that the lockdown movie everybody was excited about?
Yeah, the one that was in black and white. That was very
See?
adult. Um,
I didn't know that. Didn't watch that.
I feel like there's others that I'm not thinking of. And even though Euphoria is about teenagers,
Teenagers?
the themes are very adult
Well,
drugs,
no.
sex, and, you know,
Rock and roll?
addiction is
All right. Well,
the main theme of that.
all right, but it's a show. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But this is a movie, and that's a teenager movie. So teenager show. So
Good
I'm
point.
just telling you my thoughts. I thought, oh, Zendaya's finally doing some adult shit.
Mhm.
Let's try to support Zendaya and let's see what she got. But then they kept pushing the movie back. And I said, well, I don't know why, but whenever it comes out, I'll go see it. Looks like in the trailer, this love triangle starts with a threesome, and then it looked like she ends up with the wrong guy. I feel like I should have been with the other guy.
Is that
This
what
is
this
the trailer.
is?
That's how the trailer made it look.
This is not about tennis,
And they all tennis players.
but it's not
That's
really about
how
tennis.
I'm telling you the trailer before we get to the movie. I'm telling
Oh,
you what made me feel like, all right, let me give it a chance. I'm interested in watching the Zendaya threesome tennis movie love triangle situation.
okay.
Why not? Let's see what happens. Let's see what Zendaya got. She seems to be the star of this film. So
Hmm.
let's see. Well, the movie finally came out. It's been out almost 2 weeks now. Well, I went and watched it.
Okay.
Let's get the
Oh,
proper name because I keep calling it the wrong name. The movie is called Challengers.
okay.
and it's a challenge to watch.
I was not expecting that. Okay, well, let me put my water down before I spit it out.
Let me
So,
tell you something. This movie is 2 hours and 11 minutes, but it feels like you're doing an 8 hour shift.
really? Is that
Yes,
bad?
it takes forever for various reasons, which we're gonna break down.
Oh, we're
But
breaking.
this movie felt like 8 hours. I couldn't wait to leave the theater. Not because the movie sucked, because it dragged and dragged and dragged. You know, you be in a seat so long, your ass start bothering you. You be like, man, let me shift a little bit. Maybe if I sit like, no, okay, maybe like,
Yeah,
no,
you
that's
start
no good.
adjusting yourself. And yeah, I do that when I go to movies and the movie is too long. I start adjusting myself in my sleep.
That's what was going on.
Yeah,
That's
that
how
drives
I
me crazy.
knew. That's how I knew even my body felt like the movie was too long.
Yeah,
Because
sometimes your
I go to
body
the
is
movies
like,
all the time
"What are we doing?"
and I don't be feeling like that.
Yeah,
And most movies today are 2 hours and 20 minutes.
that's true. That's why when you
So
said it, I was like, "Oh, well, aren't all movies that length about that?"
yeah, but this one felt like an 8 hour shift.
That's rough.
And I was like, man, I was excited about this. Why are they doing
Well,
this?
because
So
the
what
love
are they doing? All
triangle
right,
got.
let's start. I'm sorry, what?
I said, "Because the love triangle got you." Isn't that what you said?
Yes, it is. I'm just saying the trailer looked interesting. It looked like there was a love triangle, a threesome, tennis, and regret. I said that's enough. I'm in. I got AMC A list. This is not an ad, but I don't. I'm not paying for the movie. Just giving my time. And man, I wish I did not give it my time because
Oh,
that's how I felt. Just like that.
sorry.
I'm not. That's how I felt.
This is it's
I
yawn
was in
time.
there. Right. It was yawn time in the movie. So let's talk about the movie. First of all, the movie is blue balls. What do I mean by blue balls? It means they keep teasing stuff, but you never get what they
Happen.
tease. Okay? Number one, the trailer looks like a threesome. There's no threesome. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
I'm spoiling everything because I don't need to see this film.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. This film is a 6. If you just want a number and you want to skip this part, the movie is a 6. And it's not because of the movie. It's because of the score and the cinematography. Awesome music, and they did a lot of really cool stuff with cameras.
Mhm. I
Okay,
love
and
good camera
everybody in the
camera work.
movie looks great. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
everyone is ripped, chiseled, buffed, and cut.
Chiseled white
Everyone
bodies.
looks great. I'm sorry?
Chiseled white bodies.
Chiseled white bodies. And Zendaya is not white. Zendaya looks good. You know, she's doing her thing too. But
Right.
the guys got the six packs and the sweaty bodies, and they look muscular. They look like they play tennis. Awesome job. For those reasons, the movie is a 6. And to be clear, Zendaya did a good job acting. I'm not shitting on Zendaya. I'm shitting on whoever put the film together,
Okay.
just to be clear.
Yep.
So if you just want a number, the number is 6 out of 10. You can skip to the next topic. But if you want the breakdown, allow me to do so for you. The movie continues to tease you throughout the entire film, both with the sexual side and the tennis side. Because the movie, in the beginning 5 minutes, five, cinco, basically tells you there's a big matchup coming. The two guys are going to play each other in a tennis tournament.
Okay.
That's in the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then it goes back in time.
Way
And
back.
it keeps
Back into
going
time.
back in time.
Oh.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I usually like when movies jump around the timeline. It keeps it interesting. But they did it too damn much. This movie starts 13 years ago,
Uh-huh.
then comes to present day, then goes back 13 years, 10 years, 8 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 2 weeks ago. That's not an exaggeration. 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, 2 days ago, midnight the night before. Are you fucking kidding me? Why are we doing this?
Mm.
Halfway through the movie, you feel like, can we get to the point of this movie?
Real Housewives.
I take your word for it.
They do this. They um the very first episode of the season
Hmm.
often if
Hmm.
with social media now, we know when explosive things happen. We don't know exactly what happened or how it happened, but we know something happened. So let's take, for example, I think New York, they went on a vacation and uh, they something happened with the boat they were on, and like people were throwing up and screaming and acting crazy and whatever, right? So what they did was the very first thing you see when the season began, season whatever, episode one, is this chaotic scene of the day everything goes to shit, right? And then they show you like a good amount, right? Like a trailer's worth amount of stuff. And then across the screen you see 3 months 3 months earlier, and then it's like starting from the beginning of filming all the way, and you've got to wait like 17 episodes before you get to the day where that chaotic thing happened.
I would be okay with that.
Okay.
If I'm gonna say
You can break
if,
it
and
up.
you're right, that is similar. To be clear, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not disputing. I'm not debating. Um, I would be cool with that if that's all that happened, right? If they said these two guys are about to start a tennis match
Yeah.
for the championship of this tournament, I'd be like, oh, okay. And then they went all the way back to 13 years ago and then kept coming chronologically to the final match. And then we saw the match straight through. I'd be okay with that, but that's not what they did. Here's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
They told you these two guys are going to have a match.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm exaggerating because actually, there's a tournament, but you don't know it's these two against each other, not 5 minutes in. So that part I was a little wrong, actually, as I'm saying this, but very early in the film. So these two guys are going to play each other, right? First of all, you never see the match straight through.
Okay.
They keep teasing as the movie goes. So, for example, it's JD has to have the biggest tennis match of his life. Go back 13 years ago. We see a little bit there. It jumps back. JD is setting up. Here comes Dash walking onto the other side. They say, oh, Dash is going to play longtime rival JD. Then it flashes back to 12 years ago. And it keeps doing that every time something happens. So this tennis match was half of the movie.
I get it. That's annoying.
Even when you feel like, okay, they've teased us enough, we're
Mhm.
finally gonna watch the very end of this thing. No, it goes back to 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Like there's flashbacks all throughout this boring ass movie. Here's the quick version of what happens. There's no threesome. Teenage Zendaya.
That
No, I'm being
already.
serious. Well, I gotta recap. There's no threesome. When it looks like a threesome is gonna happen in the movie, Zendaya's character uh makes out with both boys and then makes the boys kiss each other.
Oh,
The boys have a
that's
huh?
the big threesome.
This is the big threesome. This is what was teased in the trailer as the threesome.
Mm.
The two boys have a make out session and she leaves. She says, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And this is how the movie begins to show you Zendaya's manipulative character. Her character plays these two men against each other the entire film.
Mm. Okay.
The plot is the two men have been playing for Zendaya their whole lives, basically. They
Okay.
meet her as teenagers, they're best friends. And this love triangle continues for the next 20 years.
Oh wow. Wow, she's must be incredible.
Sure. Incredibly manipulative. So,
Yeah.
uh, she plays them the entire movie, down to the very, very end of the film.
Okay.
Um, and I don't. I'm. Again. My issue is the pacing. My issue is the teasing that never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
There is sex in the movie, you never see it. It's kissing, it's touching, and then it's flash forward to people laying next to each other or, walking away.
So you wanted it to be more graphic, is what you're saying.
Well, it's a rated R movie, and in the trailer, you tease the threesome. So I'm just saying that
I hear
when the trailer is what gets people to the movie, right?
Of
And
course.
so if we drop a trailer and say, hey, JD's gonna have a fist fight, or it looks like in the trailer I'm about to have a fist fight with somebody, I'm squaring up with somebody, and I never fight the person, you feel like, oh yeah, I was lied to, I was misled, and that's why I keep referencing it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the movie is absolutely about tennis. All three of them are tennis players. That's their mutual interest. When she's with the first of the friends, it's a tennis love. And that is part of the beef, right? It's like one dude really loved tennis and Zendaya. The other dude only loves Zendaya.
Uh,
And
it's
so it becomes this weird thing where she loves tennis. And then her character
mhm.
is the premier tennis player in the world. She's the best player in the world, but she isn't going pro. She's going to college. In a game, she completely injures herself. She could never play professional tennis again.
Is this based on a true story?
No,
Okay.
no. And maybe loosely, who knows? But no, it doesn't say anything about a true story. But it is truly foul because she manipulates these men all throughout the movie. It's all about Zendaya, twisting these dudes into doing whatever she wants. Um, it is truly an attack on men.
All right. So excuse
I
me.
say that as a joke.
That's
I say
really
that part as a
interesting.
joke. Oh, and I believe, I'm sorry, before you go, I believe Zendaya has a contract. Excuse me, Zendaya. I believe Zendaya has a clause in her contract where she can't be nude
I
because all of the
assume.
scenes, uh,
No, you go ahead.
all of the scenes where it looked like she's about to be nude, she's never nude. She's like in a tank, a tank, a bralette. She's in panties, but never nude. Even when it looks like someone else might be nude, she's never nude, except one scene where she's laying on a dude's chest. It looks like she's possibly naked too, but you can't tell because it's basically from here up.
Yeah, I would assume when you said that there were no sex scenes, I assume that that was the reason why. That
Yeah,
perhaps she doesn't do nudity. Um,
yeah. I don't think she does, and it's smart. It's very smart for her not to do nudity. It gives her a lot of cachet. It gives her a lot of mystique. And also, when she finally decides she's ready for nudity, it'd be a big deal and a big payday. We've seen this before with actresses. So it's smart, right?
uh,
So it's smart. I don't think it's. I don't have anything against it, but I realized that at one point in the movie, I said, "Oh, this is. She must have a clause in her contract
why you didn't get
because
your threesome.
what happened?
That's why you didn't get your threesome. That you were
No, we didn't get the
expecting
threesome because
from the.
she played those dudes.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't get the threesome. Listen, to be clear, I wasn't excited to see Zendaya naked. Zendaya is not my type, but I wasn't excited like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to see her naked.
I
Oh
mean, you
man,
played
this is
up.
exciting.
You played up this love triangle, this threesome business. You
I
played
wish
that
you
up
could
way,
see the
way.
trailer. That's how the first. I've only ever seen one trailer. Oh, it's always been the same one trailer. I don't know if there's multiple trailers. A
Okay.
lot of times, as a movie gets closer to release date, they release
They
multiple
released
trailers.
different.
I've only ever seen one trailer in the theaters, and that's like the thing in the trailer. It's like these people love tennis, and they love each other, and there's like this mysticism and like this weird attraction, and the
Mhm.
three of them hook up, and in the trailer it's the three of them on a bed in a hotel room.
Okay. No, I understand.
Yeah, so it's not that I was like gawking over Zendaya. I was
Well, I didn't say
pleased.
anything about
But
Zendaya specifically. I was just saying you played up the threesome, you played up the fact that
yeah,
there was this love
that's what they trying.
triangle, so that's, sounded a little disappointed.
It's all disappointing because they keep giving you blue balls in different ways. It's like
Gotcha.
every time you think a hot sex scene is coming, no sex scene for one reason or another. Every time you think the game is about to get exciting, this huge career
Yeah.
defining tennis game, they
Okay.
leave to some other shit. It's like the ultimate tease. It should have been called teasers because all they do the whole movie is tease you. It's really weird. And there's lots of sex innuendos, sexual innuendos throughout the movie. It's like, oh, put your big dick away, or oh, what do you think? I'm scared of your big dick, or man, the sex with him must be so great because blah blah blah. Or in another scene, it's like, but do you think that he fucks better than I do? There's all this sex talk and
Okay.
all this sex like uh phrasing and misleading, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you
Yeah.
don't ever get any of the things you're looking for from this movie.
Okay. I understand
Yeah.
what you mean.
And so this woman, this which later it starts again, this starts, I can't say it starts, but this movie is a story that takes like 20 years to tell, right? It's just like, well, I guess it's 13 years because the first initial flashback is 13 years ago. So over the course of 13 years, these people who start as teenagers and go into their 30s and 40s or whatever, late 30s, I think it is. Um, you see these two guys who were best friends since 12. Their relationship gets completely ripped apart. Um, and this love triangle continues. There's adultery, there's all type of foul shit going on. Um, it's just like a weird movie. It's really weird. Even the character Zendaya plays,
Mhm.
who is masterful and manipulative, even her character is like really weird and troubled. Like these three characters, uh, they each are like lost in different ways
Okay.
and like looking for the other person to fix them. It's really weird. And that I was fine with, but it just like get to the fucking point. Like, why are we still here? But they did really cool stuff with cinematography. Like I don't like all of it, but I think it's still cool that they did it. Like in one part, there's a scene where it's like a really intense part of the tennis match. They're showing at one point you see it's like you're the ball, the camera's going as they're
Mhm.
hitting.
Yeah.
Kind of like what's these movies? Not Paranormal Activity. Kind of like Blair Witch Project type of thing,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Camera is shaking and moving. There's another one where the camera is like just the person running back and forth, trying to hit the ball.
Yeah.
There's another angle where um they go underneath the tennis ring. So it's like we're looking up at the tennis match from the floor.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, they did a lot of really cool shit with cameras. Even as far as like um just a lot of different things that they focused on and the way that the cinematography was great camera work. The movie score is funny, like the music they use and the moments they use it, but it's awesome the way they did it. To me, those were the best parts of the movie.
Okay.
And everyone played their characters well, like it was believable.
Okay.
The one guy who's supposed to be like a sap, you believe he's a sap. It comes
Mhm.
off like, man, what a sap, like what a sucker. This guy, like, even this one scene is like the big game is coming up. It seems like him and Zendaya are about to they're married. It seems like they're about to have sex before the big game. He like starts crying and he's like, can you just hold me until I fall asleep?
Oh.
It's like, oh my god, what a sucker. Like, and then the other guy, he's like an asshole, and all the way you believe he's an asshole. Like the whole time. And so it's great. And those things were great. Even Zendaya, again, her character, she bodied the role.
Okay.
So it's not that they didn't do well. It's just the people who made the movie, the directors, the editors, that's who gets the blame for this movie being a 6. Because if they did this differently and if they chopped out some of the fluff, this movie could have been a way better movie. I don't know if it would have been a great movie because clearly the script is the script, right? So all the stuff that I didn't like would still be there, but maybe there would be less of it. I don't know. But yeah, man, this movie was not worth my time. I don't know why they kept pushing it back, but it didn't help when I finally saw it because I'm like, man, this what I've been waiting 2 years for. I could have just never watched this shit. Like, I don't recommend anyone to watch this.
Oh, okay.
It's not a good movie. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a very strong statement.
Yeah. I don't recommend anyone watch it. It's really bad.
Hmm.
If it wasn't such like if you take out the awesome cinematography and music, it probably drops down to like a 4.5.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Wasn't planning on seeing it, but
You know,
you didn't exactly make a case for it, so I guess
yeah.
I guess
You
no
know,
harm from that.
watch at your own risk. You know,
Got it.
if you think what I said was intriguing
Hmm.
and made you go, maybe I'll check it out. Watch at your own risk. But just remember, I told you, Challengers is challenging to watch.
You did say that. Okay. Good to know.
Yes. Yeah. So let's move on to our next topic. Speak about something else that's kind of challenging.
What's that?
Well, we've been enveloped in this Kendrick and Drake beef, but somehow a new beef has emerged.
Yeah.
And I'm quite confused by it. I have to be honest.
Well, we've got to be equitable in the way that we discuss these things. And I think that it's really important that we spent multiple episodes talking about Drake and Kendrick Lamar and friends,
Absolutely.
because there were other
And
people
friends.
involved.
And ops.
Friends and ops. Um, so it's only fitting that when there's rap
Other beef.
among the women, we should discuss it. I mean, we have in the past.
Absolutely. Yes,
Um,
we have.
my only concern is when there's no music. I don't like to get too, as you said, enveloped in in beefs that don't involve music. I just feel like
Right.
at that point it's none of my business. So this is kind of half that, half not.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes,
But let's talk about it
it is.
because
It is half a beef, apparently.
right, because we've been speaking a lot about the men and what they have going on. There's been a lot of Big Three talk. There's been a lot of Rick Ross talk. There's been a lot of talk about a lot of the guys. So let's talk about, what's going on in the female rap streets.
Well,
They got
Sukihana.
rappers, right? Like Sukhiana is a rapper. I'm sorry, I don't know her music. I just know that she
Yes,
was on Love and Hip Hop of some city.
got it. Yes, Sukihana.
Hmm.
Um, she has a track
Let
called
me clear my throat.
Yes. Sukihana has a
If y'all
song.
wanna party like we do, if y'all wanna party like us, let me hear you say
Uh, 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 uh,
ah.
uh.
All right,
All
sorry.
right. Sukihana got a song that I guess is coming out. I don't see it on the streaming platforms. Maybe it's on YouTube. Let me see. Hold on. Let me check it.
Hmm.
Yeah. The song is called Cocaine. And the song seems to be dissing JT from the City Girls.
Yep, she mentioned Ice Spice too. Where is Ice Spice?
Ice Spice, I don't know. Probably chilling in the Bronx collecting checks.
Did Ice Spice disappear? Is it me or has Ice Spice been quiet?
I ain't heard from Ice Spice since Lotto dissed her. You know.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Wow. Where is Ice Spice? Does anyone know? Have you seen her?
Tell me, have you seen her?
Yo, listen, bring Ice Spice back. Ice Spice got some bops. She shake it like jelly, showing her panties.
You just throwing out the lines in any order?
I remembered them in that order, so you know.
Well, we appreciate you even remembering them. Now, Sukihana. Sukihana says JT is an addict, a thief, and a woman who's jealous because Ice Spice want to smash her dude. JT took to Twitter to say, I don't know what's going on, but lady, I ain't never had a problem with you. I've always been supportive of you. And truly, I don't know what's on your biscuit, but uh, you should chill out. I'm summarizing, I'm paraphrasing. Those are not JT's words. JT said several things in tweets. Uh, do you want me to read them? I feel like no, right? Okay, great. Okay, awesome.
No, because I just feel like, first of all, a lot of it is redacted because of the language that was used. Also, maybe we just don't. Accusing someone of being an addict is pretty serious. Um, I don't understand what's happening with some of these beefs, and I'm not necessarily talking about the men. I feel like a lot of times they get into these back and forths, especially back and forths that land on Twitter. And half the time, one of them is saying, I didn't know we had a problem.
Yep.
Where's the disconnect? First of all, no, not where is the disconnect. Who is out there running their mouth? Because clearly someone is bringing and carrying information that makes these women think that somebody was talking about them.
I don't know.
They need to use like a better messenger or something, or whoever Drake used.
Well, not really, because Drake said me and Pluto never really had a problem. We ain't never really even been through it.
Oh yeah, sometimes you guilty by association. You mess with Pluto's friends. Okay, you mess with
Right.
people that Pluto liked a lot. And this Pluto album that's supposed to be coming out this
Mixtape.
week, mixtape, because that's the whole thing. This Pluto mixtape that's supposed to be coming out on Friday may as well be about his friend Drake. Who knows? We don't know. We'll see. We'll discuss it when we have more information on that. But yeah, I just feel like where are these? I'm not gonna compare it, but I do want to know where some of these conflicts came from. Like, why does your opponent think that y'all don't have beef? what what's going on? Like, who is feeding people? Who is feeding these women this information? Because a lot of times it feels like it turns into a clusterfuck from nothing.
Um,
Maybe I'm
I
wrong,
think
but
I had like five responses right there. I think that I think a couple things can be happening, right? Number one, it could very well be a one-sided problem, right?
yeah,
It could be that even in the Drake and Kendrick thing, right? It seems like for some reason Kendrick really does not like something that Drake did. We don't know what, but it seemed like he really didn't like something that Drake did maybe a long time ago, right? And I think that can happen where Drake is kind of saying like, I don't know what's up with you, man. I even tried to put you on a song. I don't know what's up. Which that's one way, right? Where it could be a one-sided problem where perhaps Dash did something that JD didn't like, and it never was discussed.
Mhm.
And suddenly there's a diss track. That's one thing I see as a possibility.
I
Another
would
thing is
never
I
write a diss track against you.
thanks. I wouldn't write one against you either.
I
Not a
just
diss
want to
track.
be clear because I would lose.
Yes, you would. Sorry.
Now I'm a pretty good writer, but I'm not a
No,
rapper.
but listen, all my enemies would help you, like they did with Future and Drake.
Oh, I've got to tap into some of your enemies, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Holler at all the producers who. Anyway, um, let me chill, because then it'd be BBL Drizzy. You know.
BBL Drizzy, BBL Drizzy.
Um, I think another possibility is people lie. Right. I think it's very possible that people know there's a problem,
Oh
but
yeah,
instead they play the court of public opinion.
like I
They
don't
go up
even know what's
there,
happened.
right? They go up there, they go on Twitter,
Mhm.
on Instagram, on social media, and they say, "Oh man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know
You
why.
have a
I
problem
don't
with
know
me.
why. I don't know why Zendaya said something about me. I don't understand. I've always spoken very highly of Zendaya, knowing that I just did a whole review bashing her movie that she's the star of, right? Um, and I think when you talk about things in the music industry, so many things happen behind the scenes that don't happen on public platforms, that
Mhm.
it's very easy to tell the public, I never did any of those things. I don't know what they're talking about. Knowing good and goddamn well, you know what happened, right?
Yeah,
Like Drake know he smashed a lot of people's women,
yeah.
right? So he acting like he don't know why people are mad. You have women in common with lots of these dudes.
Hmm.
Clearly, a lot of these men have beefs over women. Clearly, right? Uh, I don't know the case with these women specifically, so I'm trying to answer in a general way. But I do think it's possible that a lot of things happen in the industry behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and we don't know about them. So
Oh,
it's easy to tell the public, man, everything was good. I actually just saw them in Atlanta at a show, and it was all love. But it probably wasn't all love.
probably
There
was.
probably was a fight we didn't hear about, an
Mhm.
exchange of words we didn't hear about. Even look at the Usher and Chris Brown thing, right? When it happened, it was this big thing of, hey, looked like Usher and Chris Brown had a fight. We can't confirm, but multiple sources are saying there was an incident and somehow Tiana Taylor was involved. And then right after that, both parties came out and were like, man, we love each other. There's nothing going on.
We're just,
Everything is all good.
yeah, I don't know
That's
what
the
you guys
bro. Of
say. Yep. Well, I do think that's true, and I think there could be lying on both sides too. I think that
course.
you could be on the the side of like a Sukihana who's you know clearly confronting her through a verse, and maybe it's just somebody you've seen, or maybe she's just somebody you um you just don't care for. Like they're just people that we don't vibe with, whether we met them or not. People who we see, like there's even just celebrities, like because we're regular people, right? But there's people we see out in the world and we don't really care for them. Like we don't have an affection towards them. We don't have any sort of affinity for them. So we'll kind of stay away, or we may even be inclined to say negative things about them because we just don't like the energy doesn't match there. And it could be that too. It could be like, oh well, I don't something about her vibe I just don't like. And now here she is. She said one thing that set me off or triggered me or whatever, however you want to say it. And now I'm putting something about her in a rap. I don't know. Like I really don't know, and I'm sure that people will comment. And please do let us know if there's something else that happened between them in the past. Tell us. But I guess my frustration is always like Sukhiana. I think did the right thing. She put it in the music. Um, JT did not. That's why I didn't want the tweets read, because I just feel like, if you're gonna say something back in the music. I just feel like y'all take it out of the music, and then it becomes this thing where now we gotta worry that y'all go to the MTV Awards or something, and you cross paths, and now we're having a conversation about how there was a scuffle, backstage. So, and I think that's true on the men's side of things and the women's side of things. I don't listen.
Yeah.
I became nervous at the current beef. I don't want to keep referencing them because we're trying to talk about other people, but the beef that has been happening for the last couple of weeks, I became tense when things became personal, like super personal. Like, it's one thing to say, "Oh, I slept with your girl," or "Your friend slept with my friend slept with your girl," or what silly shit, right? Like, that at the end of the day doesn't really matter. Like, it matters and it means something to people personally, but like, we can all go about our business and like it really not affect us, because it doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter. But kids, families, uh
But your girl is family.
sure. I just mean,
Because I think that's part of why Kendrick went the way he went. Homeboy mentioned Whitney on push-ups.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, saying someone cheated or something like that is one thing. Saying someone's a pedophile or abuses women is another thing. I don't think
Okay.
those things are the same. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. I think at
Uh,
some point it got really serious compared to just, oh, like, that's fucked up. That's a fucked up thing you did or whatever. Sure, is it gonna make a dude mad that you talked about his girl? Absolutely. Um, and the reason I say like the family and the kids, Kendrick said some very specific things about the family and the kids. Like,
mhm.
um, didn't he wish him dead? Like, there was that song had a lot of like. It wasn't just I'm gonna mention your kid. It was, I spoke directly to your kid. Like, I spoke directly to your. We went through all of this already. I don't want to keep harping on that, but that's what I mean when I say I think it got serious. I think when domestic violence came into play, I think when all of those things started to come into play, then it's like, these are things that could mess with a person's livelihood. Like, you can't just say them and then they go away. Um, at some point, I said it the other day. At some point, these serious things will have to be discussed, and it seems like already people are like, they've been quiet, so people have time to think about it a little bit more. And so now you're seeing all the think pieces, and now you're hearing all the culture vulture conversations, and now you're here. You know what I mean? So I think at that point you start to worry, like, are they going to see each other and have a problem? Because originally we thought it was just going to be words. We didn't think it was going to be beyond that. We thought we were going to have a good time with a beef and that's it. And now it's like, I would fight him. I would
Okay.
fight him for
I
what
mean,
he said. You know what I mean?
yes, I understand. Yeah, a lot of these beefs can turn physical. The hope is always that they do not. Um, Going back to the ladies who are currently beefing,
Hmm.
I don't really know what's at the core of this.
Yeah.
Um, I also see both sides. I see a side where someone puts something on a record and maybe you don't feel like it should have gone to a record, right? Where, hey, Dash is dissing me on a beat from a producer I got beef with, but I don't even know why this is happening. I don't think this should even be a rap beef. Let's just go in the DMs and settle this.
Hmm.
Because it sounds like we just need to have a conversation. So I see that side too.
Hmm.
Um, I agree with you. If both people feel there's a problem and it can't be resolved in DMs, well, then if it's some rap battle thing, then let it be a rap battle thing. I think that there are different types of rap beefs.
Yeah.
I think there are some where it is a personal matter that has led to records. I think there are others that are just two artists clashing,
Mhm.
and they're gonna just battle it out.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that those battles present themselves in different ways as well. Um, to me, it's unfortunate when the beefs turn into accusations and those types of things.
Yeah.
Um, as great as this battle was with Kendrick and Drake, there were a lot of things that were said that really it didn't have shit to do with who was the better MC. This became like a gossip battle, in a way. And yeah, there was a clear winner, but it still got really weird in some ways. And so I think the same thing happens when you get on a record and say that someone is a drug addict and a thief, and say that they're stealing out of TJ Maxx. Um, and so I don't know. It's kind of
Wasn't
that's
the
what.
wasn't the stealing thing? Didn't we all know about the stealing thing?
Oh, I didn't.
I feel like that's a story that was out there.
Oh, okay. So
I
see,
don't want to. I don't want to
I'm in
confirm.
the minority then.
Yeah, I don't want to confirm that, but because I'm not
But
looking
you've
at
heard it.
the story right now. But I thought that story was out in the atmosphere, so I don't think that's new information. I think that's might be
Okay.
something that's come up before. It does sound very much like things she brought up that she just knew, like that we all knew. Because like the Ice Spice reference, I assume that the
Yeah,
Ice
we
Spice
know about that.
reference is from the whatever award show they were at, where Ice
Yes.
Spice was talking to Lil Uzi.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Lil
So
Uzi, right? That's her name.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Or was, or who knows? I don't keep up with those things. But yes, that is the incident that she's referring
I
to.
just know he just
Um.
body yada yada.
Yep.
I just wanna ah 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 ah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm always down for a rap beef. Um.
Mm-hmm.
I always hope it sticks to records and doesn't become physical. I think with some, it's obvious it could be physical quicker than others.
Yeah.
Um, when there was a possible Jim Jones and Pusha T beef, that was one of the first things I said. That
Yeah.
that beef could turn physical very quickly, and I hope it does not. Pusha never responded, and so that's that. But I never want things to become physical.
Okay.
I guess we'll see what happens with Sukihana and JT, but Sukihana definitely has a track and is dissing JT pretty clearly.
Yeah.
So
You're right. Well, we'll
yeah,
see what happens. I know
yeah.
we gotta. I know we gotta wrap it up and get out of here.
So yeah, I guess we'll table our last topic because the beef topic took a little long.
Yeah. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Weeknights. Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow, as it will be another weeknight.
Bye.